Welcome back to the Joust About Careers podcast, where you can learn about careers from the people who are actually in the trenches every day. I'm your host, Brian Brott, and I want to see all people make good career and life decisions. This week's highlights feature Megan Muzy, a merchandise associate with the Atlanta Braves and coach for the Georgia Tech competitive figure skating team. The highlights focus on what Megan does in her positions, her career advice, what it was like to make a major move for her career, and much more. If you like what you hear from Megan and want to learn more about her career journey, you can always watch or listen to the full interview. And if you find this podcast useful, please share it with someone else who could benefit from it. Enjoy the show, and I'll see you back here next week for a brand new episode.
At the stadium, we have 9 stores total, and then we have 2 outside of the stadium as well in the little community right around the stadium. And what I do is I go in and reorganize all the stores, check their inventory and put stuff out, keeping the stores stocked, rearranging the stores to make it appealing to the fans as they walk in. We also work down in the warehouse as well. We have a warehouse underneath the stadium, and we have an offsite warehouse as well. But mainly my job is to get the product from the warehouse underneath the stadium and bringing it up to stores, keeping track of what else needs to be put out, things like that, keeping it stocked and ready to sell for the fans. That's mainly during season. During postseason, which unfortunately we just started, we have been over at the offsite warehouse a little more, getting ready for inventory. We will do inventory during the off season, so counting, making sure everything's right, anything damaged, pulling that aside, and getting our numbers back up to date. As being hectic during season, they can fall short or something's missing and we found it, it's just located somewhere else. So keeping everything in line and being able to make sure we know where it is and our numbers are more correct. Obviously I skated in college as well, and I kind of fell in love with the college atmosphere and working with older skaters. And so when I moved down to Georgia, I started coaching at a rink near here doing their Learn to Skate program and a few privates as well. And just with talking with a few people, and actually my head coach back in Adrian set me up with a girl that used to skate down here. And so then I kind of reached out to her and was like, hey, I'm interested in helping you guys out. Is there someone that I should reach out to and see about pursuing this? And it actually happened to be her. So luckily we set up a Zoom call, and we kind of worked things out. What they do is they have an e-board. So they have the president, treasurer, and all those, because this is such they just started this program 2 years ago. So it's very new, and they're running it all themselves. So right now I'm doing more of the on ice coaching and doing lessons there and helping them with their programs or whatever they need really from me. But my hopes in the future is to slowly grow this program and not take over, but take over more responsibility from them. Personally, no, I was not thinking any of that. For the professional baseball side, I knew I had always loved sports and working. I worked retail in high school. I loved that. So then I went to school and ended up getting an internship with the Kalamazoo Growlers, their baseball team in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I worked there for 3 summers. I absolutely loved it. I was doing merchandise as well for them, and through the years got more responsibility and everything, and absolutely fell in love with baseball. And when graduating, sorry, I applied to multiple positions, and this one obviously stuck out to me because I was like, oh, merchandising, I know what that is. And so then for the figure skating part, I knew I wanted to coach, but not knowing what level. I'd always been a coach throughout high school as well. And then I went to college and fell in love with synchronized skating and the collegiate atmosphere, competitions and stuff. My biggest thing in sports is get all the experience you can. I obviously did my internship for 3 summers. The school only requires most people to do 1 internship. So I say go and do as many internships as you can. Doesn't have to be in the same position every time. Mine fortunately was, and I was able to grow through that. But with the NFL experience, we had a club on campus called our sports management club. I became a member freshman year. Just your typical active person. At that point, we were just doing like Zoom meetings with guest speakers. We hosted a conference with a bunch of different networking ideas, basically. And sophomore year, we were going to sophomore year, and I just got a text from one of my teammates and was like, hey, like we're doing e-board applications, like we think you'd be great, you should apply to this one. So I did. It was their programming chair, so I basically just did all the paperwork and stuff for travel and things like that for meetings, and we grew that program, and I never thought I would take over that program for 2 years. My junior and senior year, I was the president, and throughout those years we did trips to the NFL Fan Fest. They went to the College Football National Championship game. We have gone to the Super Bowl for 3 years now and worked. They did the NCAA Final Four. So they do a bunch of different networking events, and that has helped as well because it's experience on your resume, and just being able to show that you actually went and did this event, and knowing you're also getting your foot in the door to places. You're able to talk about, oh, I actually went and worked this event. Now it might be the nitty-gritty things that no one wants to do, like picking up trash, but you were there and you can say that you worked it. It's been an adjustment, but I was ready to get out of the Midwest, and I love to travel and experience new places. So I was fortunate enough to be able to do that. I love it down here so far. I've only been here since May, but nice weather, a lot warmer than up in Ohio. So I've loved it a lot. I fortunately was able to move down here with my boyfriend and his family, so I had people around here that I somewhat knew and his friends and so on to help comfort that big move, I guess. Right. Yeah, I love it so far. For the homestand hero, obviously there's a bunch of homestands, and they typically give one out. They try to give one out every homestand, but doesn't quite work that way sometimes. But so I got the homestand hero in June or July, and it's just showing someone has recognized that you did a good job that homestand, or you went above and beyond to say help a customer, or made sure all the shirts were in size order, just going above and beyond what you are expected to do. The Diamond Honoree is a bigger thing. It's monthly by department, and they choose one person per department, and you go out and are recognized on the field during pregame. You get a little pin. They do a big ceremony before, they feed you, etc. That is just basically an employee of the month. Again, showing that you care about your work,
Right.
and again, going above and beyond.
Thank you for making the Joust About Careers podcast part of your day. I hope you learned valuable information from this career story. And to be sure you don't miss upcoming episodes, please click subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform so you'll know when the next episode is released. Thank you for spending a portion of your day with me. And as always, come back next week to learn even more just about careers.